Hi everyone, it's Brittany, your makeup artist and MBA, and we are going to start a Dia de Los Muertos series all about Barbie. So I have several videos in this series. This is the Dia de los Muertos 2021 Barbie, and she is gorgeous. So this series will have how to make the headdress, how to make the bow, how to do the makeup. We will also do a feature with lovely Ken over here as well too. And if there's enough time, we'll also do Barbies from the Barbie's Dia de los Muertos from 2020 and 2019. So I hope you guys look forward to watching this series and learning a lot about Dia de los Muertos and enjoying the Barbies. First thing we're going to do is go over a historical and inspirational brief on Dia de los Muertos. So Dia de los Muertos, this is an outline of what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about the history, La Catrina, Cempasuchitls, which are marigolds, the Mariposa Monarca, as well as fashion and where to find inspiration. And this beautiful picture right here that you're seeing of Mexico is actually the outside of the Mexe Arte Museum in Austin, Texas. So you'll see a lot of these pictures throughout the slide deck just to give you guys some wonderful inspiration. And if you're ever in Austin, I totally recommend you go to this museum. It's wonderful. They have great murals, and you'll see some more of the cool things inside their exhibits in the further slides down the road. So here is a very brief history, because we're trying to keep this short, of Dia de los Muertos. So I put a source there, a link below, and so you guys can learn more about it yourself and teach your kids about it, all those types of great things. So in the 1300s, it originated in Mesoamerica, which is part of Mexico and northern Central America, where several indigenous groups had specific times a year where they commemorate those who'd passed. And they had different days depending on if it were an adult or child, which is similar to what Dia de los Muertos does today. And then in the 1500s, the conquistadors came and the two cultures sort of merged. With the Spanish All Saints Day on November 1st and All Souls Day on November 2nd. Dia de los Muertos is often celebrated on November 1st as the day to remember children who have passed, and then on November 2nd to honor the adults who've passed. And then today, it's celebrated all over in Mexico and some parts of Central and South America. Recently, it's become increasingly popular in the U.S. in different Latin communities and throughout the world. I've even seen Dia de los Muertos celebrations in France and all those types of things. So it's really becoming more of a global holiday, which I think is awesome because especially after everything we've been through with the pandemic, I think it's really important that we celebrate all the loved ones in our lives who've passed on and make sure we teach our children about their ancestors and who came before them and all those types of things. Genealogy is one of my passions. So I think this is a great way to teach your children about another culture as well as about your family's culture. So La Catrina, so you've probably seen this illustration in various forms all over the internet, or maybe you've seen it on a billboard or whatnot. This is actually the first picture of La Catrina. It was by Jose Guadalupe Posada, and it was a satirical pamphlet that came out in the early 1910s, and it became more and more popular, and they painted murals of it. All right, ever since the 50s, this has become she's became a time-honored symbol of Dia de los Muertos, and is celebrated by millions every year. I'll put the link down below. The reference from it comes from the Mexe Arte Museum in Austin, so you guys can read more about that and learn more about the museum. All right, so let's go over briefly a little bit about Monarch Butterflies and marigold flowers. So marigolds are the bright are bright yellow and orange color flowers. You see them everywhere, especially in the fall. And there's a wonderful story about how marigolds came to be and all those types of things. I left the link for you guys so you guys can learn more about it. Monarch butterflies are also very important in Mexico. I live in Texas, so they actually migrate through Texas on their way to Mexico every year. And there's a whole article right there at the bottom from Travel and Leisure. I'll put the link in the comments so you guys can see just what they look like when they go into these forests in Mexico and just how amazing it is. The two pictures, the one on the left is actually the Monarch butterfly dress. That's an art exhibit in the Mexe Arte Museum in Austin. So she is just so cool. Like her dress starts at the top and she's elevated probably on like a 4-foot platform, and it goes all the way down. And then the picture on the right, you can see the detailed of how many butterflies they had to layer over each other to make the dress and make the art installation. It's really beautiful. And then the center image is a picture of a empty ofrenda. So there's no pictures up there, but that's kind of what it looks like as you're starting to set it up. I have one in my house. I showed the picture in several other of the videos so you guys can kind of see what it looks like. And you put your pictures of your loved ones up there, treats, conchas, sugar skulls. I put out marzipan because marzipan's like a family treat that everyone loves. Water, all those types of things. So you guys can read more about this so you kind of learn why these two things are very important in the holiday. So as far as fashion goes, you want to think classy, not Halloween. So Dia de los Muertos is not Mexican Halloween. It's not like, let's, you know, be the sexiest Katrina there is out there. It's very much sort of, you know, classy. This is kind of sort of, think of it, you know, compared to Halloween. The Halloween's kind of like the Golden Globes, whereas Dia de los Muertos is sort of like the Oscars. Like you have fun on Halloween, you have fun at the Golden Globes, but when it comes to the Oscars, you really want to glam it out and, you know, be really beautiful. So, or I guess you could call Halloween like the VMAs or something, you know, people dress crazy at the VMAs. So, Dia de los Muertos, you definitely want to be, you know, kind of more Oscar worthy, I guess you could say. So great things to wear: long flowy dresses. The photo from Shot Nativa, they actually have a variety of dresses, so you guys can go there and shop. I also will post some links to dresses you can get on Amazon. One thing when you're shopping is you need to make sure that it says it's made in Mexico when you buy it. Too many of the Mexican dresses are made in China. So we want to support, or at least I do, I want to support all the lovely Mexican people. I've been to Mexico many times. My birthday's Cinco de Mayo. Like I love them. I love their culture and all those types of things. So I want to help support them and their small businesses as well. And if you are in San Antonio perchance, or if you live in Chicago, or in Austin, you can go to your local Mexican grocery store. Sometimes they'll actually have dresses for sale and all those types of things. I know Fiesta does in Austin. In San Antonio, they actually have like a full-on market because a lot of people, especially during Easter, people will come from Mexico to go shopping and celebrate Easter in San Antonio. So they do have a lot of stores there. Where you can get the longer, very detailed dress on the left. And then also you want to think about colors. This is Lily Love in the middle. You guys have probably seen her. She does fantastic work. But as you can see, it's very brightly saturated. It's beautiful. Like this is a celebration. This isn't like, you know, even though you do wear black as part of your color for the skeleton, it's, you know, this is really a celebration of life and, you know, think happiness, not traditional like dark jewelry funeral. And then floral crowns are also a component of the look. This is from the Wigs and Makeup Manager. I'm sure you guys all know the sculptress. I've taken many classes with Vanessa. I absolutely love her. And she actually just started her own online academy. So if you want to know how to make all of her amazing things, you can sign up for her courses. I've taken probably 4 or 5 classes with her, and she's amazing. I highly recommend it. All right, so some other places that you can get inspiration for your Dia de los Muertos celebration. So Mexican art. So this is actually another exhibit in the Mexe Arte Museum. And so these are all little seed beads, like the ones that you probably bought at Joann's when you were a kid, and you'd weave them through and make like little beaded bracelets. So those are all hand placed in those patterns. So you can look for things like that. You can look at mandalas, alejabres, which I have several throughout my house right now, different forms of art. You can also look at Mexican designers and architects. One of my favorite is Luis Barragan. He is the original pop of color guy. So any of those bright, colorful walls that you see on all the design shows on HGTV, he pretty much invented that. So I encourage you to go read more about him. When my beloved Chloe and Isabel was still around, we actually did a jewelry collection based upon his design. And he's just like, once you go see it, you're like, oh, I've seen that picture 100 times. Oh, that's where that design inspiration came from. So once again, his work is very clean, bright, beautiful, and gorgeous. So I hope this presentation helped you learn a little bit more about Dia de los Muertos, as well as gave you some inspiration for things you can do to help celebrate the holiday, where you can find things to use as part of your celebration, as well as give you some inspiration to on how to pull your look together and all those types of things. Thank you so much for watching that brief about Dia de los Muertos. I put all the sources in the comments below, so if you have any questions about them, you can go ahead and do your own research. I think that's very important. If you're ever in Austin, please check out the Mexe Arte Museum. It is such a wonderful museum. Their exhibits are always awesome, very beautiful, and they have awesome murals outside the building that are so much fun you can take pictures with. I actually did my sister's senior photos there several years ago, so I did her hair and her makeup, styling, and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to my channel. Please follow me on social media, and thank you so much for watching.